Being detained.
Yeah, I'm detaining you.
Under...
Terrorism Act.
You can search me if that's what you're going to do.
No. All I'm going to do at the moment, sir, is I'm going to arrest you on suspicion of aggravated trespass.
This episode is brought to you by Absolute Audits. Be sure to check the link in the description below. Subscribe to his channel and give him the credit he deserves. Absolute Audits is outside Somerset Police headquarters with a camera when officers arrive, already treating the situation as though it is a problem that needs to be dealt with. The conversation doesn't begin with clarity or straightforward questions. Instead, it immediately shifts to authority and assumptions about why he shouldn't be there. Every time a justification is put forward, Absolute Audits responds with the obvious follow-up. What rule actually prevents him from being there? The exchange quickly turns into a tug-of-war between assertions and explanations. And the moment the officers decide to take control of the situation, the encounter takes a turn that neither side can walk back from.
Who are you, please?
Oh, I'm just me.
Okay.
Is that okay? Is that the
really.
BT tower?
I need to know why you're here.
Oh, I'm just reading.
How did you get in?
Oh, I just walked up the footpath.
Okay.
The gates are open.
I don't think they are.
Oh, I think they are.
shouldn't be.
I've recorded it.
Okay. Have you got any identification on you, please?
I might do. Let me see. I've got an ID.
Yeah, can I have a look at that, please?
Yeah, of course. Is this the right one? Yeah, that one.
Please, police, please.
But if you just hang fire here a second.
Am I being detained?
You're not at the moment, no.
No, so I'm going to carry on if that's okay. You're free to follow me, but yeah, it's an ID. It's not my ID.
Can you tell me who you are, please?
Do I have to?
Yeah, you're on police property.
Oh, it's okay. I'll leave then.
The exchange immediately exposes a contradiction in the officer's own approach. The officer confirms that Absolute Audits is not being detained. Yet the moment he exercises that freedom and attempts to leave, they follow behind him, continuing to press him for his identity. That undermines the entire premise of the interaction. If there is no detention and no clearly stated offense, there is no lawful basis to keep someone engaged in the conversation. The claim that simply standing on police property automatically requires him to identify himself doesn't hold up either. That isn't a standalone power officers can invoke whenever they choose. Instead, it begins to look as though the officers are trying to maintain control of the situation after already acknowledging that they don't have the authority to stop him in the first place.
Thank you.
I need to know who you are because
You don't
might
need to.
pose a threat to us.
Why are you standing next to me with no body armour on then?
Can I just ask you to stand still for me?
Am I being detained? Am I being detained?
Yeah, I'm detaining you.
Under...
Terrorism Act.
Oh, 43. Fantastic.
Yeah, is that all right?
43?
Because I don't know who you are. You're not telling me who you are.
I don't have to.
You're dressed up very suspiciously.
It's cold.
And you are on police premises.
Yeah, but the gate's open.
I don't believe you. And even if the gate is open, you shouldn't be gaining access and you shouldn't be here.
But it's publicly accessible, I thought.
No, it's not.
Well, the gate's open.
And I'm being quite reasonable. I'm asking you for your name. I'm asking you for some ID.
Yeah, but I don't have to give it to you.
And you're refusing to do that.
Yeah, but I don't have to give it to you.
So you're
I
now
don't
going
think.
to remain with me until some other police officers come and assist me.
Well, I've offered to leave.
I'm just saying it's private property. Okay, you're not entitled to film me, and I do not want my identity to be put online. Is that understood?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
It's not on you, look. It's pointing at the cars.
I know, but just make sure you're aware you're on private property.
But can you just tell me who you are, though?
Not at the moment, no.
That wouldn't be the way such a risk is normally handled. The explanation then shifts to a detention under terrorism legislation, justified by the way he's dressed and the fact that he's standing on police property. But reasonable suspicion under those powers isn't meant to be based on vague impressions. It requires something concrete that links a person's behavior to potential terrorist activity. Clothing choices and simply being present near a building don't meet that threshold on their own. The claim that the area isn't publicly accessible also sits uneasily alongside the fact that the gate was open and members of the public could walk straight in.
No. But you're giving me
Because
a,
I'm on private property.
but you're giving me a request.
I'm not requesting. I'm just saying I do not want my identity
Yeah.
to be put online.
But if you tell me you're a police officer, I'll say, yeah, okay.
Can you confirm that you're not filming anybody here on?
No, it's pointing down. Yeah, look, see, it's pointing at the floor. I'm not filming anyone.
That also goes for any vehicle registration numbers.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't film those. Are you a police officer?
I am a police officer.
Okay, can I take your shoulder number?
At the moment, I'm not working today. I've only put this on because it's wet.
Yeah, but you have identified us, so I just would...
My first name, okay, we're on private property. I'm trying to be polite.
Yeah, I know, I'm just saying, if I wanted to contact you, what would I search?
A member of the public,
Yeah.
okay, was planning a mass shooting,
Right.
a mass murder on this site.
Oh, right.
Okay, that person's since been sent to prison
When was that?
recently.
No, I've not heard about it. Was it in the news?
I'm not being argumentative, but if you're a journalist,
Yeah.
okay, you should be up on this sort of stuff. Okay, it resulted in that person being shot because they shot themselves and police officers.
Yeah,
Okay, they were planning to come on the site with guns.
yeah.
Okay, you're on site now with a balaclava on, hiding your
Yeah.
identity. Can you not understand why we're a little bit edgy, a little bit jumpy?
Another officer then attempts to shift the argument towards privacy, claiming that his identity and even his vehicle registration shouldn't appear online because the area is private property. That reasoning carries little weight when the things being filmed are already visible to anyone standing there. Police vehicles and their registration plates are seen by the public every day. The same officer also refuses to properly identify himself, withholding his shoulder number while still involving himself in the encounter. It's a curious position, because if someone truly isn't on duty, the obvious solution would be not to involve themselves in the situation at all. Instead, the explanation drifts toward the recent security scare and attempts to draw a connection between that incident and absolute audits, simply because he's wearing a balaclava, stretching suspicion well beyond anything actually taking place in front of them.
So if I came in your back garden then, after somebody threatened to shoot you...
Yeah, but this isn't your back garden. This is it's a public building.
No, it's not. It's private property.
It is, it's a public building,
private
though.
property.
There's a reception, the gate's
It's
open.
private property. Okay, at the end of the day, this is private property.
It is.
So if you left your back gate open, your back garden, and I walked in,
It
okay.
would be publicly accessible. It would be trespass.
you trespass.
Once I asked you to leave and you didn't.
Private.
Nobody's asked me to leave yet.
No, because we want to make sure that you're not a threat.
Yeah,
Okay, we
sure.
want to make sure that you are not planning an attack.
Okay.
Because by putting those vehicles online and by putting our faces online, you could potentially jeopardise that
Yeah.
and stop people from being prosecuted.
Okay, so I would come back to that and say, one, I wasn't doing that. I was doing my report and just filming around. And my other point, which is a bit more argumentative, is you've walked up to the camera. So had I not been cooperative, I might have started, some people might have stuck it in your face and gone, no, I'm filming you.
Okay.
But I've gone, okay, fair enough.
You shouldn't be filming on private property anyway.
But I
So-
can, that's what I do.
So
Sometimes you have to go
Can I
on.
come in your house and film you?
No, but if the gate is open, you can come in, and then if
can
I
come in
ask
your
you,
garden
if
and-
I ask you to leave, you would have to.
Yeah.
The comparison to someone wandering into a private garden doesn't really translate to what's happening here. A garden is clearly part of someone's home, whereas this area was open and accessible, making the circumstances very different. Even if someone did step onto land they weren't supposed to enter, trespass is normally dealt with as a civil matter, not something that automatically grants the police additional powers. The claim that filming officers could interfere with future cases also falls flat when the recording only began after the officers chose to approach him. What makes the situation even more unusual is that Absolute Audits had already indicated he would leave if simply asked. Yet instead of taking that straightforward option, the officers chose to keep him there under detention while continuing to complain about his presence.
I've tried being nice. Okay,
Yeah, I'm being nice.
No, you're just coming back with arguments. The chap then that was talking about coming on site and murdering police officers,
Yeah.
shooting them with homemade machine guns.
Yeah, but I've not done that.
No, but if he'd come a
And
week
he's in
earlier-
prison. Yeah, but you can't violate people's rights because of what might happen. For example, you're violating my rights at the moment.
By how?
Well, you've stopped
talking to you?
my free movement.
On private property.
Yeah, I said I'm going to go to reception, and you guys have said no, you're staying here.
There isn't a reception here.
There is a reception here.
There isn't.
There is. It says on the sign.
That's the training school reception for police officers. That's not for public.
No, when I came in the gate, there's a reception.
That's not here though.
Well, I don't know where it is. I can't find it.
again, it's not for members of the public. It's for people visiting the site who have a legitimate reason for being here.
Well, I
who
do.
have signed in, who are going to sign in, who
Yeah.
have been invited onto the
I
site.
would have signed in, but I
And none
can't
of the
find it.
above applied to yourself.
Yeah, but I can't find reception.
You haven't been invited onto site. You haven't requested access to the site prior to entering it.
Yeah, but I've used a public road, footpath to gain access.
To go through a private entrance.
Yeah, but the gate's open, so it's
private
open.
entrance, and there's clear signs saying private property.
Wow.
And that's why the signs are there, to stop people like yourself coming onto the site claiming it was free access.
Well, it is.
Our barriers are closed.
No, the gate's open.
To go through a closed barrier,
but
which is
it's open.
designed as a deterrent to stop you coming in.
Like
because
what
it is
this?
private property.
That goes like that.
Yes, that is a closed barrier.
Yeah, but it's for cars.
The explanation continues to rely on the idea that simply being on police property somehow makes a detention lawful, but that alone doesn't automatically create powers that override someone's freedom of movement. Acting on a vague belief that something might happen isn't the same as pointing to behavior that genuinely justifies detaining someone. The attempt to argue that the vehicle barrier proves the area is restricted doesn't stand up particularly well either. A barrier designed to control vehicle access doesn't suddenly transform the area into a place where pedestrians are prohibited, especially when people are able to walk straight in without restriction.
But isn't trespass that you can, if something is publicly accessible, which you're saying this
It is
isn't,
not publicly accessible. This area is not public.
but under the definition of the law, this is because the gate's open.
No, the gate isn't open because there's a physical barrier stopping you coming through. You chose to ignore that barrier.
It's not stopping me.
Do we know who you are yet, sir?
No, I would argue that under Article 8 of the Human Rights Act, I don't have to give you any details.
Okay, in that case...
Is that okay?
It's perfectly fine. You can have those rights.
You can search me if that's what you're going to do.
No. All I'm going to do at the moment, sir, is I'm going to arrest you on suspicion of aggravated trespass, okay?
Why is it
Section
aggravated?
69 of the Criminal Justice Act and the Public Order Act, okay? The reason for that is you're obstructing lawful activity and you're intimidating and causing distress.
Would you like me to tell you one more thing before you make that decision?
No, I'm going to make that decision.
I'm an auditor on YouTube.
No, that's okay. What I'm going to do...
Hang on, let me just turn
Did
it
you
off.
not
Yeah,
have
that's
the
fine.
same
You can...
thing?
Okay guys, so in short, I was arrested and was in the cell for about 13 hours. I was then interviewed probably at 1 or 2 in the morning and was further arrested for possession of a Class A drug, salt, and failing to give my name and address to a constable, which is Section 50 of the Police Reform Act. So yeah, I gave a no-comment interview and I was eventually released at 3 in the morning with no phone, no wallet, nothing. They seized all of my equipment.
Absolute Audits update shows that the encounter didn't simply end with a tense exchange outside the police headquarters. It has now continued into the legal system, with confirmation that solicitors have been instructed to begin a civil claim. That means the interaction will now be examined in a setting where every decision, justification, and action taken by the officers will have to withstand legal scrutiny rather than being defended in the moment. Cases like this often take considerable time to progress because a police force must first be formally served and given an opportunity to respond. But the key point is that the matter hasn't simply been forgotten or brushed aside. And that's the only update Absolute Audits has provided so far, with no further details released regarding how the claim has progressed since. What stands out in the closing moments is how quickly the situation escalates once Absolute Audits refuses to identify himself. Declining to provide personal details isn't unusual unless a specific legal power requires it, something closely connected protections under the Human Rights Act. Yet that refusal suddenly becomes a basis for a series of serious allegations. At various stages, he's detained under terrorism powers, then arrested for aggravated trespass, public order offenses, and even possession of Class A drug. The aggravated trespass allegation struggles to fit the circumstances shown. That offense requires someone to intentionally obstruct lawful activity, yet the only interaction taking place is between Absolute Audits and the officers themselves. The public order allegation faces a similar challenge, as the legal threshold involves behavior that is threatening, abusive, or genuinely likely to cause harassment, alarm, or distress. By the end of the encounter, Absolute Audits is taken away, his equipment is seized, and a lengthy list of allegations has been raised throughout the incident. What began with someone simply standing outside Somerset Police Headquarters holding a camera ends with detention, multiple arrest grounds being cited, and his property being taken from him. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your support really helps me continue providing independent coverage. Also, don't forget to check out Absolute Audits. You'll find a link to his channel in the description below, so be sure to show him some support. Thanks for watching. This has been British Police Hub, and I'll see you in the next one.